What happens when a celebrity builds an empire on hype, only to discover that audiences don't actually care? Meghan Markle just found out the hard way. Netflix gave her the money, the cameras, and the platform. But instead of delivering something authentic, something meaningful, she gave us the fakest, most hollow product possible. And the result? A flop so loud that even Netflix is quietly pretending it never happened. This wasn't just a flop. It was a calculated PR gamble that backfired spectacularly. And today, we're breaking down exactly how Meghan Markle's Netflix gamble collapsed into a PR disaster. From the chaotic launch to the phony authenticity to the empire of products and partnerships that crumbled right along with it. Stick with me until the end, because the final twist isn't that Meghan failed. It's that people stopped even caring enough to hate. And that silence, that's the real death blow. Welcome back to the channel, where we cut through the glossy press releases and tell you what's really going on behind celebrity headlines. If you're tired of the spin and want the raw, unfiltered truth, make sure you hit subscribe, tap that like button, and drop a comment below. I want to hear your take on Meghan's Netflix disaster. Is it over for her, or can she bounce back? Let's rewind. Meghan's first Netflix outing was supposed to be her big reinvention, a lifestyle meets documentary project that would showcase her charm, her vision, her authentic self. But it didn't land. Viewers were lukewarm. Critics shredded it. And instead of seeing this as a warning, Meghan ploughed forward as if nothing was wrong. She didn't regroup. She didn't evolve. She doubled down. And here's where it gets worse. Both seasons were filmed back-to-back in one single production run. No room for adjustment. No time to absorb feedback. No opportunity to fix mistakes. Just one giant pre-packaged content dump. By the time Part 2 rolled out, it was already outdated, filmed in the summer of 2024, with storylines and footage that felt stale by 2025. That one decision poisoned everything that followed. So what did audiences get? The sequel nobody asked for. Love, Meghan, Part 2. Or, as many are calling it, Love, Meghan, Part Who Cares? Instead of correcting the flaws of the first season, the sequel doubled them. The same staged interactions, the same fake warmth, the same clunky editing. Only now, with the added problem of being old news. The energy wasn't fresh, the ideas weren't relevant, and the audience? Completely uninterested. But Meghan didn't just stop at the show, she tried to engineer a moment. On release day, Meghan went nuclear. She didn't just launch her Netflix episodes, she dropped her new lifestyle products and a Bloomberg interview, all in the same 24-hour news cycle. The logic? If she flooded the headlines with so many simultaneous stories, the negative reviews couldn't dominate. But here's the problem. People aren't stupid. Audiences saw right through it. The backlash didn't disappear. It multiplied. The trailer alone racked up a staggering 91% dislike ratio. Thousands of sarcastic comments drowned out the handful of supportive ones. And the reviews? Brutal. This wasn't just a stumble, it was a faceplant. A 91% dislike ratio is catastrophic. That's not passive disinterest. That's active rejection. That's audiences saying, not only do I not want this, I hate that it even exists. And once people tuned in, the content only confirmed their suspicions. The production looked desperate. Editors scrambling to stitch together anything watchable. Jump cuts that felt like horror movie jump scares. Voiceovers slapped onto unrelated scenes. Filler shots that screamed, "We have no content, but we need to hit 40 minutes." By the end, it didn't look like a polished Netflix show. It looked like student film week at a community college. The more you watched, the more obvious it became. This wasn't content. It was filler dressed up as prestige TV. And that brings us to Meghan's fatal flaw: authenticity. Her entire brand rests on being real, relatable, honest, inviting people into her world. But what did this show actually give us? Staged sets, scripted dialogue, Meghan reading lines like, "I'm so glad you're here to teach me," with all the warmth of a voicemail greeting. It wasn't intimacy, it was performance, and audiences could smell the fakery from a mile away. Then there's the guest list. Big lifestyle shows succeed because of big personalities, charismatic figures people actually want to watch. Oprah doesn't call in random neighbours. Martha Stewart doesn't pad her guest list with nobodies. But Meghan? She gave us a childhood friend, a makeup artist, and a smattering of insiders most viewers couldn't pick out of a lineup. And then came the headline, Grabber. Chrissy Teigen. Yes, Chrissy. The internet's former clapback queen, now infamous for bullying scandals that cost her major brand deals. And Meghan, who has spent years campaigning about digital kindness and online safety, chose her as a featured guest. The hypocrisy was glaring. If your brand preaches anti-bullying, but your show gives a platform to one of the internet's biggest bullies, that's not authenticity, that's desperation. Now, here's where the fallout gets even uglier. Meghan tied her Netflix project directly to her lifestyle brand, as ever. The plan was simple. The show drives product sales, the products reinforce the show, and together they build the Markle empire. Except no one bought. Shelves stayed stocked. Products sat untouched. There was no frenzy, no excitement, no sold-out banners. In her Bloomberg interview, Meghan bragged that they scaled up inventory to meet high demand. But when there's no demand in the first place, that doesn't make you look powerful, it makes you look delusional. Audiences weren't buying it, literally. And let's not forget the wine rollout. Her camp bragged about selling 10,000 bottles in a day. Sounds flashy, right? But let's do the math. That's only about 800 cases. In the wine world, that's pocket change. Boutique wineries with no Netflix promo machine sell far more without breaking a sweat. For someone with Meghan's level of global exposure, 10,000 bottles is embarrassing, not a triumph, a red flag. Meanwhile, critics sharpened their knives. The Guardian called it painfully contrived. The Telegraph said it was only marginally less bad than season 1. The Times dismissed it as a series in search of meaning. Translation: nobody's buying what Meghan's selling. Not audiences, not critics, not even the media outlets that usually throw her softballs. But here's the real killer: indifference. When celebrities are controversial, they stay relevant. Hate watching still keeps you in the headlines. But when the backlash fades into silence, that's when you know it's over. And silence is exactly what greeted Meghan's latest drop. Not rage, not debate, just nothing. And in the celebrity world, indifference is worse than hate. It's career death. At the end of the day, this isn't about food or products or Netflix shows. This is about survival. Meghan Markle is fighting to prove she's still relevant, that she can stand apart from the crown, reinvent herself, and build her own empire. But every move feels calculated. Every product feels like a PR chess piece. Every guest feels like a branding exercise. And when everything feels manufactured, the message gets lost. Audiences crave authenticity. Meghan delivered packaging. Audiences want connection. Meghan gave them performance. And now, the empire she tried to build has collapsed under the weight of its own contradictions. So, let's tally it up. Netflix show, a flop. Product line, tanked. PR strategy, backfired. Audience, tuned out. Meghan wanted her Gwyneth Paltrow Goop moment, her Martha Stewart reinvention. Instead, she got a masterclass in how not to build a brand. Netflix handed her the crown, and she dropped it. But here's my question for you. Is this truly the end of Meghan's Netflix era? Or does she still have one last play left? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more exposés, and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's coming next. Because if there's one thing Hollywood keeps proving, it's that hype fades, but the truth always comes out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.